Hello, dear viewers, and welcome to another episode of This Week in Canada. My name is Roberto Wakefield Cruz. Thank you so much for joining me on this fine week. And let's just jump into the news. Boy, is there a lot of it. I don't know if you guys have heard, but Erin O'Toole is gone. This is awkward. I at one time supported Mr. O'Toole quite a bit, but obviously I was wrong. So let me just jump out right at the gate. Let me just say I was wrong there. For those of you who said that he was a spineless, weather vane politician who was like Justin Trudeau, but worse, that just acquiesces and see where the wind blows, wherever the wind takes him, and that's his position. A flip-flopper, especially on guns or defunding the CBC or supporting truckers, as we saw in the last few days there. You guys were right. Apparently, you guys were spot on. So I just want to say real quick, I guess, thank you to Mr. O'Toole for, you did your best. You know, your strategy was okay in theory, but when you put it into practice and you isolate so much of your base, of the SoCon base especially, that tend to do a lot of the heavy lifting in terms of fundraising and volunteering, that's not going to work. And these are people that have voted for you and tend to show up to the polls. But let's just go into what happened. Okay, so on Monday, news comes out that 35 members of parliament have written a letter. And this is what you have to do to get a leader kicked out, is if a certain percentage, I believe it's 20% of your party secretly, and just goes behind your back and very sneakily, fervently writes a letter that says, this guy sucks and he stinks and he needs to go, then that's just how the ball gets rolling here. So 35 MPs did do that. And immediately after, we saw Erin O'Toole release a statement saying, no, it was a senior staffer. It wasn't O'Toole that said it. It was a senior conservative strategist that on O'Toole's team that said, no. This is, you know what's going on here? This is the conversion crew. The conversion crew in this theory is the team of conservative MPs who do not like that the Conservatives moved forward with the trans conversion bill. This bill was basically made so that you could not question anyone's sexual preference ever. So if your son is like 10 and he's like, I think I'm a girl, you can't even bring him to like someone to be like, no, you're a guy. That's what conversion therapy is now. I used to think it was like when you used to be like, you know, if you guys have seen Slumdog Millionaire, I used to think it was when like you had your feet in a bucket of water and you got electroshocked with a car battery. No, so that you wouldn't be gay. It's like, are you gay? Yeah. No, it's not that. It's just asking your 10-year-old son if he's a boy and him saying, no, haven't you read the law? You can't ask me that. So anyway, this is what the conversion crew is apparently. That are the, I guess, far right wing of the party. And they're the ones that are working in motion to get Erin O'Toole removed. Erin O'Toole would then come out with a statement where he said, hey, you know, we have two choices here, okay? We can let the party be one of moderate coolness with a very nice 119 seats forever. That's how many seats we're always going to have with this strategy. Or we can let it go to, the party of Derek Sloan and, Randy Hillier and like Roman Baber and all these crazy far-right people. So this strategy obviously wasn't great because you're basically splitting the party into two camps, basically dismissing a huge part of your party as being wackadoodles. So then even if you win, you have like a big section of your party that's like, this guy thinks I'm Randy Hillier. This guy thinks I'm going to threaten to nuke Parliament or whatever. So this was a huge misstep. The whole process happened pretty fast. By Wednesday, the vote happened and it wasn't close. Mr. O'Toole lost 73-45 for the party to kick him out. Obviously, there was some controversy because this is part of the Reform Act, which is how the Conservatives, I guess, kick a leader out of his position. But people were saying, Mr. O'Toole, why do I keep saying Mr. O'Toole? He's not my dad. Well, I guess you would call your dad. But Erin O'Toole apparently made a promise to members of his caucus saying, look, if you just, I'm sorry I was bad. I will do better. And I will move up the date for a member review so that the membership can choose if I remain leader up to this year. It's supposed to be next year. We'll let every conservative member have a vote and say if they want to keep me. 75 people were like, Yeah, good one, but you stink. We're not going to keep risking it. This is like such a disaster. We would have preferred Peter MacKay. You're out of here. So they said that he's gone. And he did leave. He stepped down. And Candice Bergen came and took over from there, who is very good. I like her. Obviously, liberal Twitter was freaking out, being like, oh my God, she wore a Trump hat once. Yeah, so have I. You know what? If you haven't worn a Trump hat once, drunk at a party, or if you just support Donald Trump, which is, he was the president, right? No, you can't do that. No, but she's great. She was the deputy leader under O'Toole for the entirety of his tenure. She's going to do a good job as interim leader. Obviously, that means that she cannot become leader, which now begs the question of who is going to become leader. Who is going to become the leader? Well, obviously, there's some favorites out there. Leslyn Lewis is one that is very popular. We keep seeing her name. Other one, Michelle Rempel Garner, I see be floated around out there. Although people keep telling me she is a plant from the World Economic Forum's Young Leaders Initiative, which I need to look into, apparently. I've heard some things about this, but I don't want to get flagged for being a conspiracy theorist or whatever. So the main name that you've probably seen floated around, and one that people are salivating just at the mouth, going crazy, just dreaming about this, is Pierre Poilievre. Mr. Pierre Poilievre has been a attack dog for the Conservatives for 25 years now. He's been an MP, and so he is a bit of a career politician. But, you know, just because there was this revolution where there was outsiders doesn't mean that you can't have career politicians anymore. Pierre Poilievre is a good guy. I like Pierre Poilievre. We've had him on the show, like, I don't know, over a year ago now. But the last time there was a leadership election, it seemed like he was going to run, and then he did not end up running. This surprised a lot of people. He does have a very young family, and you have to wonder if he's even really interested in the job, which makes it that much worse. Everyone wants him to do it, and he doesn't seem like he really wants to. I don't know if this is some kind of grand Machiavellian scheme, where he's just like, I don't know, maybe I'll do it. I'm thinking about it. I'll flip a coin on it the day before. But you got to wonder who the candidates are going to be, and if anybody realistically would be able to beat Pierre Poilievre. I heavily doubt it. He's been so popular for so long. He has the biggest social media presence of basically, I think, any conservative out there. I mean, it's bigger than like Andrew Scheer's or whoever else there would be. I guess it's probably bigger than Maxime Bernier's, I would imagine. He's the guy for the job, in my opinion, but I don't want to go into that too much because predictions are very difficult to make, especially about the future. Have you guys heard about this trucking convoy? I know I missed last week. As you can see, I was moving. I've had a very busy week, work and everything, so I apologize for that. I'm going to try to keep uploading every week from here on out, so I apologize. But have you heard about this convoy? Big convoy, big convoy. So this convoy is now in its 7th day as of the time of uploading this, and it doesn't seem like it's going to be going away. There's been some controversy, of course. That's what this show is all about, is controversy. With the GoFundMe, the funds of the campaign were frozen, and they need further review by the platform. They said, look, this is weird. You guys have $10 million. What are you going to do with it? You know what? Fair enough. Like, in my mind, I don't know how this works. If I start a GoFundMe and then someone gives me $10 million, is it mine? I don't know. So you got to make sure there's checks and balances in place. Once a GoFundMe gets this big, it's understandable. So today, the leaders of the convoy had a press conference. Tamara Lick, I want to say, and her lawyer Keith Wilson from the JCCF, the Justice Center for Constitutional Freedoms, held a press conference where they basically said, look, we have given everything that we need to give to the GoFundMe people. They're reviewing it, and we have confidence that they have everything that they need. We have accountants now. We have lawyers now. This is going to be set up it's going to be into an incorporated trust where the money is going to be given, put into, and then when truckers or anybody that is at the protest keeps the receipts, gas, hotels, everything, they will be reimbursed. Wow, that's pretty amazing. The JCCF does some amazing work. So that's been going on. But what else is the thing that's really been piquing my interest has been that issue with Justin Trudeau, who has been villainizing these guys for like 2 weeks. Obviously, this is a strategy. Does Justin Trudeau really think these people are terrorists? That's actually kind of hard to say. I don't know if he believes his own lies. He might just have drunken so much Kool-Aid that he actually just now sees everybody that disavows him as just a Nazi or a Confederate. Which, by the way, guys, Confederacy, come on, stupid. But I will anyway. I'll get to that. A lot to say this week. So I don't know if he believes that he thinks that they're Nazis, but it's certainly the strategy that he's taking. The media has eaten it up that these guys are terrorists. Like you knew they were going to. Of course, they go around. They say that they're robbing homeless shelters. Hey, truckers? What's with all that food that you have over there? What's with all the tons of 18-wheelers that you have brought that could have food in them? No. We're gonna go steal food from homeless people. What the hell are you talking about? That didn't happen. I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say I don't know what happened. I'm gonna say that it definitely wasn't anybody involved with the convoy. To continue on, these people are being framed as evildoers, as people that desecrate the statue of Terry Fox. Can we get over the freaking Terry Fox statue thing? Look, Terry Fox was cool. He was a great guy. Canadian hero, icon. Look, I understand all of it. If you put a flag, which shouldn't have been upside down, I will say that, should not have been upside down flag, okay? But you put a sign that says free mandates, or free mandates, end mandates, free Canada, and I don't know, something on his head, a hat that says Canada on it. Are you desecrating the statue more than the scumbags in Montreal that I saw tear down decapitate the statue of this nation's founder, John A. Macdonald? Are you any worse than the people in Winnipeg that are going out and tearing down the statue of the Queen Victoria, who, the Queen? I'm not huge on the Queen, but whatever. You should have some reverence at least for where this country came from. Is that really the standard that we're holding this to now? Also, I saw some photos online of people putting a gay flag with Terry Fox, or him holding flowers. That's the same level of desecration. The Tomb of the Unknown Warrior stuff, I will say, is a little concerning, but there's a police search for that lady. Her photos are out. It was one person. I'm going to let that sully the entire convoy? No, of course. I have a brain. Unlike Justin Trudeau, who is using his brain for evil. I know he doesn't think it's just a threat to him and his agenda to, keep us enslaved. Anyhow, jeez, I'm going on some rants today. What I'm concerned about is the rhetoric around Justin Trudeau and taking military action. So the Ottawa police said in a press conference, Peter Slowly, the chief of police for Ottawa, said, we don't know if we can end this with the police anymore, with just the police. We don't know if the police can sufficiently end this situation on our own. And then I believe it was a CBC journalist who was like, so what are you talking about? You talking about politicians? You talking about the army? And he goes, yeah, you basically said it right there. Okay, that's not great. I don't like to hear that the army is going to be called in on civilians because they're honking too loud. So then Justin Trudeau holds a press conference on today, which is Friday, and says, my position is the same as the convoy of the railway blockades of 2020. You have to be very careful when you call in the military. It's not in the cards right now. That doesn't sound good. So it's not in the cards right now. Has it ever been in the cards? Because if you actually listen to what he said in 2020, if we go back to the videos of him, he said, you should never call the army on your own citizens. It's not an option. So if we could roll that clip, we'll show you what he said then versus now.
Our focus is very much on resolving this peacefully for the long term. But as I've said many times, I do not think it is ever appropriate to send the military against Canadian citizens.
And this is what he said today.
That you would be, or you are entertaining, or could be the next Prime Minister Trudeau to deploy the military within Canada for such a demonstration?
There were questions a couple of years ago around military when it came to other protests that were blocking critical infrastructures. My answer then is consistent with my answer now, that one has to be very, very cautious before deploying military in situations engaging Canadians. It is not something that anyone should enter in lightly. But as of now, there have been no requests, and that is not in the cards right now.
Are you noticing a change in tone? I don't want this to end with the military. I want this to end peacefully. I would like my freedoms back. I would like to be able to get on a plane and fly to Vancouver if I wanted to. I would like to be able to take a train to see my family in Ontario, all the way down south in Windsor. I lived 10 hours away. I can't drive. So if I could take a train, that'd be really nice. I can't do either of those things because the Trudeau government has taken away my right to movement that is assured to me by the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, and I would like to see those things change. I'm happy that there's people on the Hill that are fighting for this, and I'm happy that this appears to have 33% support from the population of Canada. Actually, I believe it's 32. Let's put it up on the screen here. 32%, you can see here, 32% of the population relates with the people on Parliament Hill, or just in front of Parliament Hill on Wellington Street. I need to see this happen. I really think that the Trudeau government is making a mistake here by villainizing these people. He has othered them. I understand that there's if I was Prime Minister and I saw a lot of flags that said F you, F Trudeau flags, I get it. It could be a little spooky. I don't think you're not in home field, but if you're the Dallas Cowboys and you're playing the Redskins or the Commanders and you go on the field and there's signs saying, hey, Tony Romo's Tony Homo, right? Like, not me saying that, but that's what people in the crowd would say. If you're Tony Romo, you still go out there and play football. If you're Justin Trudeau, you still have to go out. You should go out there and figure out what these people want. Is there a solution here? Okay, it's not negotiating with terrorists. You're not. These are Canadian citizens who you're calling racist, and then for everyone to linger on this the Confederate flag thing. Has there ever been a more obvious plant in the entire world than this guy with the Confederate flag? Okay, you have the Nazi too. To hell with it. You know what? I can't prove this. This is just a hunch. This is not how I report. This is not what I do with my job. This is my opinion. The guy with the Confederate flag, with the brand new Confederate flag, right? Brand new Confederate flag with a truck on it. Where the hell do you even get that without knowing about this for like 2 weeks? And then he has his entire face. We should show a picture right here. So look at this guy. This fool has a brand new Confederate flag with a truck on it. How specific can you get? It's like if I went to the gym, it was dressed as Charlie Chaplin, and I went and I had a big flag of the Olympics and with Charlie Chaplin on it. It's like you have to be pretty ready for that event. So as you can see, his face is totally covered. Everybody else there, you can see their face. This guy, by the way, laughed at all the way out, basically kicked out of the whole thing for being a square as he is. Confederates are losers. It's so that was a total crock, I think, in my opinion. And the Nazi. Can we talk about the Nazi? It's one. Also, everyone started saying swastika. When the hell did we all start saying swastika? It's swastika. It's been swastika my whole damn life. And now all of a sudden I have to listen to Chrystia Freeland say swastika like she's from India. And I'm here sat like, when the hell, why are we so respectful over the thing that Hitler used to kill Jews? Or as Whoopi Goldberg would say, just to kill other white people. It's ridiculous. The swastika. Can we talk about the swastika? The swastika is so clearly out of a box. It is fresh out of a box. It still has the creases in it, for Christ's sake. Look at the picture. I don't know if we can actually show this because I don't want YouTube to take down this video because you can't even show a swastika anymore. It's like we're in Germany. So look, the swastika has creases on it. If I'm a Nazi, I have enough swastikas around that I can just pick one off the wall and go walk down the street with it. I don't need to get one from, I don't even know where you buy one. Amazon, the Nazi, am a Nazi? I am a Nazi? Not me. It's ridiculous. The whole thing, it seems set up to me. I don't want to get too conspiratorial, but is it that crazy to think that there's bad actors, that there's people that intentionally go in to disrupt and make valid causes seem like way worse than they should be, and they are? I thought during the 2020, during the Black Lives Matter protests, I was super suspicious about where those pallets of bricks were coming from. If you weren't really following that, during a bunch of these Black Lives Matter rallies, I think in like Portland or maybe it was Seattle, there was some footage of people just bringing in or photos of just these large pallets of bricks. What the hell is that for? I mean, that seems like a Fed move to me. If I'm a Fed and I want to undermine a movement, I would just leave a big pallet of bricks around angry people so that they start throwing them everywhere. That's just my opinion. Anyhow, I'm hoping for a peaceful resolution to this. I understand that the people of Ottawa are tired. I can't imagine how loud that shit must be to have like 40 horns going off at 7 a.m. Look, you see videos of the birds. They're afraid. They're afraid. The birds are afraid. I mean, if I was a bird in Ottawa, I'd be looking at snowbirding. Thank you so much for joining me. I understand that this was not a typical episode. I might have gone a little bit too crazy there. Let me know what you think about who's going to win the leadership contest. And let me know how you think this situation's going to end. Will the Trudeau government ever meet with the trucking convoy? And will I have burritos for dinner? Sorry, my brain's gone. Thank you so much for joining me. I will be sure to be back next week. This new format, I got the green screen. We're going to do a lot of fun stuff here. It's going to be a great time. I'm feeling rejuvenated. I got a new place. I got this in my house now. It's going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine. Thank you for joining me. Goodbye and God bless you.